What's up guys, ArchAngel Manga here, and today's series review is going to be Hellsing Ultimate. So before I get into this review, I just want to let you guys know that this series I don't actually own. I have the DVDs here, but they were lent to me by my good friend Dark, aka RBU2010. That's his YouTube channel. He does like anime soundtrack remixes. I started doing gameplay, a few game reviews, you know, that kind of thing. So I'll put a link to his channel in the description below, so you can head over to his channel and support him. So yeah, he lent me this series. Now he wants me to review it and tell him and you guys my thoughts on it. But this is actually also, even though I'm saying it's a series review, the DVDs that are available and the only ones that are released in English are the first 8 OVAs, because it's a 10 episode OVA series and only the first 8 have been dubbed and licensed in English, unfortunately. So I have only seen the first 8 OVAs. I haven't seen the last 2, which completes the entire story, so I'm just going to give you my review of what I've seen so far. I'm not sure if the last 2 OVAs are available for like streaming or anything like that, but you know, I know that they'll only be available to watch in Japanese, and I'm, you know, accustomed to the English dub, which I watched it in. So you know, I'm gonna try and wait to see if Funimation ever get the license for it. But anyway, yeah, Hellsing Ultimate. I can't necessarily talk about one production studio when it comes to Hellsing Ultimate, because I believe there was 3 or maybe 4 animation studios that worked on this. I think the first 4 OVAs are produced by Satellite or Satellite. I don't know if it's Satellite or Satellite. And then the I think OVAs 5 through 8 are produced by Madhouse, you know, the massive powerhouse that is Madhouse. So there's a slight subtle transition in animation quality from OVA 4 to 5. That was a little bit noticeable. Like I think Madhouse did a little bit of a better job animating it. The actual art style itself remains consistent and similar to the art style of the original mangaka who obviously created Hellsing, because this is an anime that's adapted from the manga. So yeah, I think Madhouse did a better job at animating than Satellite did. Not to say that, you know, the first 4 OVAs were bad in quality. It's just that the animation at times could seem a little bit choppy in the action scenes, whereas the animation from OVAs 5 through 8 seemed a lot more fluid and, you know, a lot more smooth. So if I hadn't have known, if I'd have just assumed that it was one animation studio that had worked on the series, then I would have just assumed that maybe, you know, they'd up the budget for, like, you know, OVAs 5 through 8, because, you know, the animation style is just flawless to an extent. I think the OVAs, the last 2 OVAs are produced by a studio that I've never heard of. Obviously I haven't seen them yet, so I can't really give you my review on them. But anyway, more about the story and what Hellsing Ultimate is. I regrettably and embarrassingly, I kind of went into this show with medium to low expectations. I think that's kind of the best thing to really go in with any anime, really, because, you know, if it turns out to be better than you expected, then, you know, you get, you know, much more, what's the word I'm looking for? You feel a lot more, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but anyway, yeah, Hellsing Ultimate basically is about a secret organisation based in England who work directly for the Queen, called the Hellsing Organisation, and what they do is protect the country from creatures that go bump in the night, namely vampires, and they basically have an ace up their sleeve who is Alucard. If you basically spell that name backwards, then you can kind of guess who he is. But yeah, he's like the most powerful vampire that's ever existed. He was like the first vampire, so you know, he's not under their control by any means. He's sworn an oath to the Hellsing family that he will serve them in, you know, their righteous crusade, you know, to basically purge the world, or just purge the, you know, any threat towards England. But yeah, characters. If I walk off about the characters, yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about the story. So yeah, Hellsing. The organisation is run by a woman called Sir Integra. It's a really long name. Sir Integra Wingate Fairbrook Hellsing. I believe that's her name. And she's just a badass. Basically, she's the head of the organisation. The only one who Alucard listens to and responds to, and jumps to command. And basically, it starts off with a village or like a little town getting attacked by ghouls, like zombie-like creatures, which are being controlled by a vampire. And we get to meet like the heroine of the show, who's called Ceres Victoria, who gets kidnapped or like gets held hostage by the vampire. Alucard comes to her rescue. Well, I say he comes to her rescue. He shoots her through the chest in order to kill the vampire, and in order to help her and allow her to survive, he turns her into a vampire. Because the way you get turned into a vampire is you can only be turned into a vampire if you are a virgin. You've got pure blood. So yeah, she becomes a vampire, joins the Hellsing organisation, and is teamed up with Alucard to go on like numerous sort of missions. Missions over in Northern Ireland, things to do with the Vatican, because there is the Hellsing organisation, but they also have rivals, the Vatican City, because basically the Hellsing organisation, they're like Protestant Christians, and the whole deal with Protestant Catholics, always at loggerheads, so they had to have the rival organisation be Catholics and directly responding to the Pope in the Vatican, so a lot of crazy stuff goes down. I don't want to reveal too much about the plot. But yeah, characters. Alucard, it's like he's just doing it for the fun. He's serious in a way, like he's very, very terrifying, but he's always just got this massive grin on his face, like he's just enjoying every minute of it. And even though he was under the command of Integra, he doesn't shy away from creeping her out, basically just going overkill on his commands, and Integra kind of flipping out at him and him just laughing in her face, that kind of thing. So yeah, Alucard is a total beast. Who else? Ceres Victoria, who's like the sort of, I don't want to say fan service, because there isn't actually that much fan service in this series. That's one thing I was really impressed by and surprised by. There's hardly any fan service in this series that distracts away from the violence or the story. So yeah, Ceres, who is like the sort of beauty of the series, she's wearing like a skimpy outfit, but isn't overly sexualized, which I was kind of impressed by, because she really is a badass. And she's just a police girl. That's what she's referred to in the anime, because she was a police officer. She's kind of like learning and kind of adapting to life as a vampire, because now she's immortal, and she can't walk during daytime. She has to live during the night, obviously, because these are proper vampires, not your moody teenagers that sparkle in daylight, as it will say in the back cover of this. These are proper vampires, silver bullets, garlic and daylight, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, she's adapting to a new life as a vampire and like learning the ways, and Alucard is basically her sensei or her master, because she's learning from him. She's an interesting character. We get a lot of I don't know, kind of character development from her, because she kind of starts off kind of like wimpy and always kind of scared. She provides a lot of the comedic relief in the series, but towards like the end, or the end of where I saw her up to, she comes really sort of hard boiled and quite a hard case, and kind of lusting for violence in the same way that Alucard does. And that kind of leads me on to Integra. She is just a hard case. She doesn't really change at all throughout the entire series. She just remains stoic and really placid, and she kind of does lose her cool sometimes, but it's more with anger or drive that she wants to just rid the world of evil, that kind of thing. So she's very driven in that respect, but still a very interesting character. Probably one of my favourite characters in the series is Alexander Anderson, who he's basically a paladin who works for the rival organisation, that basically clashes all the time with Hellsing. He works for the Pope, the Vatican, and he's basically just like Alucard, and you know, he's like Alucard's rival, you know, they're almost equally powerful. And he's just the most badass. Like, I think he's Scottish. I mean, it's not really known. Like, his kind of sounds Irish to me. I thought it was Irish because the first time you were introduced to him, he's in Ireland, but it's got like a Scottish accent, so I can't really tell like where it's from. But he's the most badass like Scottish man ever. He just he's doing everything for, you know, for in the name of God and for justice, but he does it with such an evil sort of maniacal smile, and everything that he does is just so evil like looking. I can't really explain it. It's just, he just looks so evil. But that's what's so cool about him, and that's what's so cool about a lot of the characters in the show. The way they're depicted, like they might be silhouetted out, and you know that their eyes will just be glaring. You get a lot of that. A lot of sort of dynamic like angle shots at people's, you know, like figures, you know, where they look like completely elongated, that kind of thing, and it just really adds to the horror aspect of the show. But you know, all in all, I really enjoyed Hellsing Ultimate. Probably one of my highly rated animes of this year so far. What else could I really say about it? The musical score, the OST is like really catchy. There's some really interesting sort of like rock overdriven beats. You know, that's something I always dig. One other thing, something I heavily underestimated was how much violence and the level of gore there was going to be in this series. I remember watching a trailer. In fact, it wasn't a trailer. It was the Hellsing abridged series that Team 4 Star did, and you know, you don't really get to see like a lot of the violence in that. I mean, it's a while ago since I watched it, but actually watching the actual show, the level of violence is just astounding. People getting their faces ripped off, you know, just blood splattering everywhere. People getting killed in like really sort of flamboyant fashion. Like there's these two villains called the Valentine brothers, and I think I can't remember his name, Luke Valentine, the guy with like the white suit. The way he kills people is just brilliant. Like he's got these like scythe sort of dagger things, and like you don't actually see him like move to kill people. You just see like these scythe sort of like light sort of flashes, you know, around people, and then they'll just like split into pieces like a few seconds later. And the only sort of indication that you can tell it's him is that like he's got a cigarette in his mouth, so you can't actually see him moving, but you can see like the light sort of. It's kind of like an overexposed camera, like just the light of the cigarette will just kind of move, and then it'll stop, and then these people just like splat. It's just such a crazy way to kill somebody. But yeah, a lot of people die in this series. I'm surprised there wasn't like a body count. You know, there's hundreds of people who die in this series. You know. Oh yeah, also there's vampire Nazis in it who are trying to take out the Hellsing organisation. So Nazis, vampires, lots of religious iconography, you know, badass priests with evil smiles, hot police girl vampire chicks, lots of weapons, lots of shooting, lots of blood, just mercenaries flying around, you know, heads splitting. This is just a perfect anime to just kind of switch your head off, you know, just watch it. It really is a feast for the eyes. You know, it hasn't got that much of a deep story, not much character development, but you know, you're not watching this show for, you know, them kind of things. So, you know, I highly recommend Hellsing Ultimate. You know, it's a very popular anime. I can't remember what year it was released, but yeah, again, thanks Dark for lending me this. I will give you them back now. But yeah, that's my review of Hellsing Ultimate. ArchAngel Manga, signing out.